morning, everybody. Thank you for having me. I have my notes, but I think that when I get in the group of things, I'm just going to talk and don't worry about it. So my name is Maria Laplante. I am a data governance specialist, currently a data governance specialist. I've been working in IT for 24 years, and I'm coming here to talk to you about how my career progressed and how I got to know myself, hoping that this might help you in your journey as well. Just checking if I have the right button. Okay. So this is me. This was me. This is still me. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I started my career in software development. I moved to cybersecurity, and I am now in data governance. So as you can see, it's all related to technology one way or another, but I progressed a lot through my journey. So I'm in IT, but technical difficulties are part of the job. Okay, so at first when I started my career, I thought that IT would just be about technology, but it turned out that my career became a mirror for me to get to know myself a little bit more. I really discovered what truly motivates me in life, and I was able to see that it all comes down to 4 big pillars, or we can call it values, if you will. So there's 4 things that are very important for me. Creativity, my thirst for knowledge, my love of problem solving, as well as my need for human connection. So I will talk to you today about this and how my journey helped me figure things out. Okay, so first career choice. When I was young, I was somebody that was very, very creative. I was singing. I wanted to be a singer when I grew up as a child. So I was very, very creative. And I was also somebody that really, really liked to learn things. So when I decided to go to school and decided for my career, I decided I want to teach history. So because of my thirst for knowledge, history was great, so I went and studied and do social sciences, and that was the path I was taking. And then an email that changed everything. So I received an email from one of my university professors, and I opened the email, and it's that very cute fireworks. So I thought it was a little bit awkward, like, why is my teacher sending me fireworks? And I wrote, and I said, oh, thank you for this. Only to realize that, no, it's not actually a virus. So it was Happy 99, which is by some people considered to be the first one, which is a virus that self-propagates. So my teacher had infected my computer. So I got a IT technician to come into my home and try to fix this. Because for me, IT at that moment was only a computer for me to be able to study, nothing more than that. The IT technician took about 10 minutes and fixed it. I was fascinated. Oh my God. He identified the problem, he solved it. I want to do that. So that really awakened my love of problem solving. And I decided that, you know what, 2 weeks before the start of my third session in history at university, I changed my program, I changed school. I even left my home to live somewhere else 2 weeks before. And then, okay, now let's do IT. So I went and studied in information technology. So I worked in information technology for the rest of my career, but as I was saying earlier, I started my career really in software development, which was great for my creativity, because when you do software development, you're building applications, you're building interfaces, but it's also great for problem solving, because programming is mostly troubleshooting, finding errors, finding bugs, finding solutions to fix things. So for me, that was great, and I could work for until 8 p.m. at night without even realizing that time had passed, because I was so focused and in the zone. So for me, that was great. However, after 6 years, I realized that something is missing. And that's when I had my first real self-reflection and introspection session where I had to think about what's missing in my life and why am I not happy anymore. And I realized that what was missing for me was human connection. Because I was working a lot with my computer. I'm not an introvert, really. I'm more of an extrovert. I like working with people. Working only with a computer for me was alienating a little bit. So I needed more. So I went to my VP at the time and said, you know what, we've received this audit finding. We have a finding in information security. I don't know what it is. Go ahead and have fun with that, basically. So I took that and I ran with it. And for the first year, I learned everything about that there was to know about information security. So I thirst for knowledge. I really loved it. I was super interested in what I was learning. And after a while, I even decided to go and work somewhere else because I needed to work with other professionals in information security in order to learn even more. And that started my long career in cybersecurity. At the time, we called it information security. Nowadays, it's more cybersecurity. So when we're talking about cybersecurity, for those of you maybe a little bit less aware of what that means, it's basically putting in place the necessary mechanisms of control to ensure that we protect the confidentiality of data, systems, as well as their availability and integrity. So protecting against cyber attacks, protecting against internal threats and things like that. And in cybersecurity, there's a lot of different skill sets. There's a lot of different things you can do in cybersecurity. You can have a whole career for your whole life and never really get bored in cybersecurity. My specialty was governance, risk, and compliance, meaning how can we make things better, how can we manage our risk, and how can we make sure that we are compliant with any laws, regulations, and best practices. So I did that for 17 years, and that helped with, again, my creativity because I was able to figure out better ways of doing things. It helps with my thirst for knowledge because since there's always new threats, always new technology, there's always something to learn in cybersecurity. It helped with my, sorry, I should not turn around. It helped with my problem solving because sometimes we get to a point where we have a risk that we need to fix it. How can we fix it but still have that business value that we are looking for, et cetera, et cetera. So thinking about problems, and of course, I had to work with a bunch of different people from all over the organization, so that helped with my human connections as well. I decided after several years to do a foray in management. So what I liked in management was really the fact that I was able to be there for the human part of it. So I like to mentor, I like to coach, I like to help, I like to take pride in the way my team is evolving. However, there are some things that are a little bit more difficult in management. It's not for everybody. There's a lot of admin stuff. There's a lot of HR challenges. When you have to give bad news to employees, when you have to do performance evaluation and things like that. And those were parts for me were a little bit less interesting. So again, I really had to go back and think about what are my values, where are my pillars, and I decided to make a change, and I decided to go into data governance, which I'm going to talk a little bit about. But even then, I still felt like, okay, maybe it's not for me. Maybe I'm missing something. Again, the self-reflection and introspection that I had to go through throughout my career. So, sorry, I'm just looking for my notes because I feel like I'm forgetting stuff. Okay. So since I wasn't feeling well really with my career in the last, I would say 5 years, I really thought about it. Why am I not well? And one of the things was I want to learn new things. In cybersecurity, there's always new things to learn, but when you're in management, you have less opportunity. So not sure it was for me. I want to help fix problems, but I want to find creative ways of fixing the problem, so I want to be involved in the solutions. I want to work with people, I want to teach people, but I don't want to deal with the part that is more difficult, like firing somebody or dealing with their personal problems and things like that. It was very difficult for me. And finally, I want to do the work, I don't want to tell people to do the work. So after a while, I did something that most people would not necessarily think about. I decided to not be a manager anymore. So some people might look at it as a demotion. I don't. I'm now a data governance specialist at Intact. Instead of being a manager, I'm still working every day with my previous team, and it's going very well. And for me, it goes back to all those four pillars again. I always come back to that to say, what is the right choice for me? Okay, so what is data governance? Data governance is basically how we will put in place a framework to ensure that we know what our data is, where it is, how protected it is, how compliant it is, and how can we gain the most value out of the data. We hear a lot about AI, for instance, nowadays. If you do AI without good data, good quality data, your AI won't give you great results. So there's a lot of things to do, and what's so fascinating about data governance is the fact that it's relatively new because of AI. It was there before, but now it's all the rage. There's so much to learn. There's so much we have to figure out because we don't know how to do it. So again, creativity. So I feel like right now I'm having fun with that. And if I come to a point in my career where I'm not having fun anymore, I'm going to go back to my focus and try to figure out, okay, what needs to change? Is there something that needs to change? So, in conclusion, even though my role keeps evolving throughout my career, I know what keeps me engaged, and I think that this is something important that we need to figure out at all ages. The self-knowledge it's my compass, and as long as I rely on it, I won't stray. I got to self-knowledge from a lot of introspection, sometimes with professional, like therapy is a good thing, don't hesitate to do that if you need to. And now I'm listening to myself more. When I'm unhappy at work, I always go back to what is the real reason? What's not working right now? And how can I fix that? And what are the best choices for me? And I want to encourage you to have those reflections as well and think about what is the good choice for you with your values. Sometimes it brings you to difficult choices where you have to be brave, like deciding 2 weeks in advance that you're leaving your home and leaving your school and leaving your friends and going to work on other studies, or when you decide that even though it's not necessarily super well seen, you don't want to be a manager anymore, you want to have another career path, it's perfectly fine. So I want you to think about what are your pillars and what truly drives you and makes you happy. And if you do not yet know, that's perfectly fine also, because you will learn as you grow. So thank you for your attention, and I hope my insights have been helpful to you. Thank you.